Kiwi Cheesecake.
Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with 1.5 cups of crushed plain cookie crumbs. You could use graham wafer cracker crumbs, that's what I'm using, or you could use nilla wafer crumbs that are crushed. Then you add to that 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 cup of butter that's been melted. Stir it together until all the cookie crumbs are moistened, and you're going to pour it into the bottom of a springform pan and press it down so it's nice and firm and even, and then put it in the refrigerator and allow it to set for about an hour or so. Now the springform pan is 9 inches in diameter, about 22 centimeters. Then in a separate small bowl, place 3 tablespoons of water as well as 3 tablespoons of gelatin, which is about 1 of those little envelopes if you're using Knox gelatin. Let it sit there until the water is absorbed, and then place this in the microwave on high for about 15 seconds or so, and give it a stir, and continue to stir until the gelatin has dissolved. And just set that aside for the moment. Now you will need some fresh ripe kiwis. You'll need about between 6 and 8 depending on the size. My mother actually was given a big pile of kiwis for some reason, and she's not a big fan of them, so she gave me the ones that she didn't want, and I looked for a recipe to use them up, and I found this one. Take 3 of those kiwis, peel them, dice them, and then mash them up so you get a nice puree. And basically you need enough to get about 1/2 cup of mashed kiwi. And for me, it was almost exactly 3 kiwis worth. Set that aside, and in a large bowl, you're going to place 2 8-ounce packages of room temperature Happy cream cheese. To that, add 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar, and then you're going to blend this together or cream these things together until it's nice and smooth and nice and light and fluffy, about 5 minutes or so. After the blending is done, don't forget to scrape down the sides of the bowl. You're going to add in that cooled, dissolved gelatin, and then continue to beat until it's nice and smooth once again. Then add in your kiwi puree and stir that in. Now you're going to add in 2 cups of either Cool Whipped topping or 2 cups of whipped cream. Now if you're starting off with liquid cream, start off with 1 cup of liquid whipping cream, whip it up until you get soft peaks, and then you're going to fold that in gently into the cream cheese mixture. Once that's folded in, take your crust out of the refrigerator and spoon the filling into the springform pan, and then spread it out so that it's nice and even. Then you're going to put this in the refrigerator, and you're going to allow it to set for at least 2 or 3 hours until the mixture has set. Now in a separate bowl, place 1 cup of very hot water. Add to that 1/2 package of lime jello, and that's about 3 tablespoons of lime jello crystals, and stir it around until the gelatin or the jello has dissolved. And then you're going to let it cool quite a bit. You want this to be cool but not set yet. You want it still to be liquid. Take out the cheesecake mixture out of the refrigerator. Then take the remaining maybe 3 or 4 kiwis, depending on the size. You're going to slice them up fairly thin and just arrange them artistically around on the top of your cheesecake. You can overlap them if you want to have an overlapped kind of a texture. I just put them so that they were just barely touching because I didn't have all that many kiwis to work with. Then you're going to take that cooled jello mixture and pour it over the top of the kiwis, and pour it very gently because you don't want to disturb that cream cheese. You don't want that cream cheese dissolving and kind of mixing in. You want a nice clear jello layer on the top. And then put this in the refrigerator and let it set completely. About another hour or so, depending on how warm your jello mixture is. And here it is out of the refrigerator. I let it sit there for about 3 hours before I decided to take it out. Now look carefully as I tilt the pan here. Do you see the jello flowing? What happened was it had like a jelly texture but did not firm up like regular jello. And I actually made the other half of the package using the other cup of water and the half package that I had left over. And I put that in the fridge just to let it set. And that firmed up quite nicely. So there was nothing wrong with the jello. I did a little online research after this, and I found out that there are certain fruits that don't do well with jello, that have enzymes that keep jello from setting. And pineapple is one of them, and kiwi is another. So the actual kiwi fruit in this kept the jello from setting properly. And as you can see, as I go on here showing you pictures, I took this picture very quickly because all the jello on the edge started flowing off the cheesecake onto the edge of the pan. I found it strange that the website where I found this recipe didn't mention it. As a matter of fact, here's the picture they show for the actual recipe that they use. And I'm using this photo completely without permission. As you can see, their jello looks pretty set. I don't know. I'm really doubting that their jello is set. I think they managed to get a quick picture just like I did, and that was it. Now, how did it taste? It actually was very, very good. It was delicious. It had a lovely kiwi flavor in the cheesecake. And although the lime jello was a little bit soft, it does add a lovely sweet flavor to it. I think that if I were to make this again, I would probably just layer lots of kiwi on the top, and I would just leave the jello right off. I would just forget about the jello. Don't use the jello. It's a great cheesecake just on its own and not super sweet, which makes it pretty good if that's what you're looking for. So if you give this one a try, skip the jello. Now, personally, I think that cheesecake is the perfect food. Doesn't get much better than cheesecake. I love cheesecake. It is my favorite dessert, and I have a ton of them on my channel. I put them all together for ease of perusing on a playlist. So if you want to see it, go ahead and click right on your screen or look for the link in the description box. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.